Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Fire Force Season 1, Episode 11. Real quick, because I haven't had any feedback yet or anything, I changed up my audio noise suppression thing. I found a new software to do it with that seems to be very good. Uh, and now there should be a lot of like little background stuff you heard before that you won't hear now. But let me know, guys, if you hear any kind of like tweaks or messes with my audio, like things that don't sound right, if something sounds wrong or bad, like if my words are cutting out that you can't understand what I'm saying, kind of thing. Hopefully, it is fine. I did a quick test and it sounded okay, but obviously, when you do, I don't have a huge sample size either. So, uh, but but yeah, it does seem really good though, which I'm really excited about it because I'm pretty sure I could even like turn. I have like a window AC unit which is very loud, and I had that running while I did my tests, and you couldn't even hear it. Which means that on like during the summer when things get sometimes when I'm recording longer stuff or a bunch of shows in one night kind of thing, it gets really hot in my room with all these lights on and my computer running and it being like 80 or 90 degrees out and everything, and I can't run my AC because then you guys hear it, and now I might be able to. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, let me know what you think, if it sounds good or bad or needs tweaking or whatnot. But yeah, anyway, last time on Fire Force, we had a meeting of the captains, of the different divisions. They talked about keeping an eye out for this what they're calling the White Cloud organization and trying to like find information on the evangelist and everything. We learned about the Amaterasu power station, which is apparently run on this Adola Burst pure flame, which is interesting. And apparently, Shinra's fire is that Adola Burst pure flame, which is something that the White Cloud organization seems to very much seek. So we had Joker listening in. We don't know how he was listening in, but he was, and he's also impressed by Shinra's development and how quickly he's learning stuff, and went to go give him even more of a hint where we learned that Show, for one, we know that he's alive. We've known that, but his brother Show is also a like commander in this white clad organization. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But now the eighth know everyone in the eighth knows about this and all that, which is good. I'm glad he told everyone, and now we can kind of move forward, and everyone can be in the know, and we can see what happens. I just got done watching the Maiden Abyss season 2 finale, and that broke me a bit, so I'm excited to see maybe a more Fire Force is always a bit more lighthearted and fun. It has its deeper story elements and stuff like that, but I'm uh I'm hoping for a fun, exciting episode because I need a pick me up after that friggin' finale and everything. But yeah, let's get started, guys, shall we? All right, we're gonna start here in five, four, three, two, one, now. Okay, we have an incident. Oh, first fire. Mmm. Oh, flashback. All right, so we're gonna get the founding of the Eighth Division. That's an order. I don't know what his hat is referencing. It's like Setsuka in the wall. I don't know what that means. Solar year 195. They're in like two something, aren't they? I think. I'll have to look back at my notes after. Oh, we see like one frame of him, and then I have like a really hard time with his name. Hinawa? Yeah, Hinawa. Takahisa. Maybe I should try to. I'm having a really hard time remembering Hinawa. Maybe I should try to remember Takahisa. Because for some reason, with like. I keep wanting to think like Hinawa is like different. Like you want to think like Hinasa or something like that from like I think there's other shows that have that name. Hinasa. Hinata from Naruto. I'm trying to think of a Hinasa. I feel like there is one, but I need a sip of water. I also had no idea that the season 2 finale of Made in Abyss was like 47 minutes. And then my discussion was long as hell for that too. So my voice is taxed already. Oh, cool. Interesting. So they're like all in like the academy kind of thing. General O's. He does put on muscle. I thought this was a young Obi, but is it not? He called him Tojo. Sounds like the voice. Is Tojo a nickname, maybe? What's his full name? Akitaro Obi. Oh shit. Damn. Okay. That is definitely not him. Shit. That's fucked. Oh man. Well, not the baptized gun. Uh Jeez. It's definitely not Obi. Okay. Learned. Is that the gun he still uses now? So that was the military, not the fire force that they were in, right? They were talking, at least they were talking about the military, and she wouldn't make it in it. So at some point, oh, okay, here he is. I was gonna say, I was gonna say that Tojo looked a lot different, but I was like, maybe it's just supposed to be a young Obi. But this looks more like Obi. Points. So even though there's the fire force, there's still normal firefighters in this world, huh? Interesting. That's messed up. Hmm, interesting. Imperial Armed Forces. Okay, I'm pretty sure it said that. The formation of Company 8. Well, that's a fitting episode title. It probably said that, but I was too busy looking at what Hinawa's name was. Well, yeah. Oh, so that's because his gun was unbaptized. He didn't have his gun. So at the moment, he didn't have a baptized gun. That was my bad. I kind of thought that might have been the case, but then I was like, maybe it was just that he couldn't do it, and that those guys did it without one kind of thing. And now he does have the gun from Tojo, which is a baptized gun, I imagine. Uh, Damn. A hero. I imagine that's not something easy to do either. That is imagery. Damn. That Rekka would have been in love with that imagery. Alright. That I can trust. Fair. To Maki? Okay. Yo. My ability works as a meat shield. Oh. Nice of him to have like the courage to even say all that in front of her, right? It'd be kind of embarrassing almost, right? Alright. Wow, this episode's almost over already. Kind of. I did talk a lot in the beginning, so I looked at the time and I saw 17 minutes in, or 18 minutes into the recording now, but I did talk for like 3 or 4 minutes before I even started, so. Oh, yes, that's right. They mentioned the first mission. Oh, that's so interesting in the founding. Hmm. White robes. Sevenths. This guy seems like a hard ass, but he also seems like he could be, especially the way people see him. He can't be too bad if everyone's so cheery around him. I have a feeling that he might have like a better side than this attitude, or at least a noble cause kind of thing. Who are these kids? Jesus Christ, these kids! That laugh. Now we have a Hinata. I never went and wrote down all the captains' names. I forgot to do it from the last episode. But Benimaru is this one, right? They said it in the town. Although this guy's calling him Waka, might be a nickname. Ignore them. Wait, what? Does this episode have two episode titles? I thought that was supposed to be the episode title. I like how he just pulled her up with like the cloth on his shoulder. Mm. He needs proof. Well, he's just gonna fight with everyone. Uh oh. Well, he didn't see proof before. Is he going to now? Be very convenient timing if he suddenly witnesses one becoming an infernal. Oh, that guy? What, really? Damn. Interesting. Is this. Hmm. Is he gonna get him? Oh my god. A way to celebrate the life of the guy, kind of thing, rather than mourning it, maybe? Jeez. Is that his ability doing that, or were they able to do that? Yeah, they're celebrating his life. Oh, interesting. Ah, that's why he has two different eyes. Hybrid. Damn. It's like a. So instead of like praying, they hold this festival. Uh. Oh. Yeah. The look on his face too. That the stuff from his shop said he didn't like. Yeah, he didn't like sweet things, but he ate it anyway. Oh man, that was a good episode. There's a lot to that episode. What's the actual episode title? I think I can see them here. Oh, so it just has like two titles apparently. Interesting. It's just called Formation of Special Fire Force Company 8 and the Mightiest Hikashi. Interesting. All right, man. Friggin' Obi, dedicated, right? Like I imagine it's not easy to create a like start your own division. I mean, obviously there's only like there's 8 of them in total, right? Um so it can't be easy to create your own division. Yeah, Obi was like in year 195, he's like, I'll do it. You know, I'm gonna create my own division. And in year 197, he had it started. That's like crazy. 3 year turnaround on that. Impressive. I am hungry. This is usually the time I eat. I'm recording later because of how long the other episode was I watched for Made in Abyss. Alrighty, guys, that is it for episode 11. Yeah, man. Whew, that was a good episode. I really like that one. We got to learn about the founding of Division 8. We learned a lot about, or a bit about Hinawa's past. He worked in the military. So did Maki in the very beginning. But his friend from the military, who I apologize for getting mixed up with Obi. I wasn't sure if it was showing that they were like friends in the past or whatever before they formed the division kind of thing. Um, and I thought that was just supposed to be like a younger Obi because it had like similar hair. I just figured he hadn't like shaved the sides off yet, kind of thing, and and stuff like that. But nope, I was totally wrong. And the voice almost sounded like his. It had that same like almost like raspy kind of not raspy, but maybe a little bit of raspy. Like there's a little bit of raspy cadence in Obi's voice, and I almost heard a little bit. It almost sounded like that voice actor putting on like a younger sounding voice kind of thing. But I'm just 100% wrong. So I apologize for that, Tojo, a friend of Hinawa's who just became an infernal. That sucks. Like I wonder if I mean, it happened while they were isolated in that room. Unless they somehow like launched the bug into the room, that must have been a random one, right? That wasn't a targeted one. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they found a way to do it, and we could find out later, and that could drive some more character development for Hinawa. That he found out that someone like his buddy was intentionally turned into one, but it seemed to me, at least for now, that it was just a random one. But they also talked about General O's. His Maki is his daughter. So I don't know if that's ever going to come back with her being the daughter of a general kind of thing, or are we going to get some like conflict where he's in the military and he wants his daughter to be and going to try to like come and drag her back into it kind of thing, or it just seemed interesting that they pointed out that she's General O's daughter, kind of thing. But I wrote it down for now. I don't know if it's ever gonna come back, but yeah. I imagine the gun that he still uses, that we saw him using, because he does like all the different gun stuff with, uh, like changing the trajectory of bullets and everything. I imagine the gun he's using is the one that he took from Tojo and everything. It's sad, but but yeah, apparently there's normal firefighters in this world that I didn't realize. I mean, I guess it makes sense that you have the Fire Force, which are specialists for taking out the Infernals. I just assumed that they also put out the fires. So do the fire force just show up, kill the infernal, and then they leave and they just let other people take care of like putting out the fire, kind of thing? I guess maybe there was like a way to distinguish that because of like different outfits in other episodes, and I just wasn't really looking out for it. I just didn't really think much of it. And like even with different outfits, until they like made a clear distinction, you could just think that like, okay, these guys are like higher rank, so they have the fancy outfits, and then there's these like lesser guys that have these ones, but they're all still part of the fire force. But no, it seems like there's the fire force and then there's firefighters. So it's just interesting that there's a difference. But that was pretty messed up that one division, whichever division that was there, had this point system in order to like keep morale up or whatever. Like it's we spend a lot of time talking about this episode, previous episodes, and all that, even after the fact, like towards the end of this episode, how to mourn these people that turn into infernals, whereas that group, they're like, this infernal's worth 3 points or whatever, I'm gonna go for this one. And like because the other one had a higher point value, I assume because the other one had a higher point value, they just ignored hers, like the husband of that woman kind of thing. It's like messed up. But yeah, it's like, so I guess not. I thought like every division did like the praying stuff, like Division 8 did. I thought that was just like part of the Fire Force's like mission, I guess. But apparently it's not. It's just Division 8 that does it. I'm trying to remember if we saw. I guess we didn't really see Division 5, Hibana's. Which division was Hibana's? Hibana and Iris. Oh yeah, Captain of Division 5. Okay, cool. I was right about that. But yeah, like. I don't think we saw them kill an infernal, did we? Because, like, I know we saw them take in the one that could talk, and they wanted it to, like, experiment on, and they took it in alive. I'm not sure, but at least maybe other divisions do it. It seems like every division has its own way of dealing with it. So whatever that one in the past was, they use that point system or whatever, and then we learned here that Division 7 has like they call it a festival, right? It's kind of like I've heard of some things like celebration of life kind of thing rather than calling it a funeral, right? It's the idea of rather than being sad and praying and mourning and everything, the way that this small town does it is he just destroys everything. It's a big spectacle, and then he ends your life and everything, and everyone's like cheering, and obviously there's people that are sad deeper down, but you send them off with a bang rather than being sad and everything. And I like how everyone else had this like happy attitude and everything, but then it pans over to Benimaru, who has this, from this guy who has a deadpan face and doesn't show much emotion, he had like a pretty sad looking face on, and then he went back and ate the sweets that were given, even though he said he doesn't like them, kind of thing. It's like really, really touching way to introduce the seventh. And I had that feeling just because of the way the townsfolk talked about him and everything, like he still has kind of a crappy attitude and everything, but if he was really a bad guy, the people in the town wouldn't look to him the way they do, right? So I trusted the way everyone in the town was treating him as the reason why I was like, this guy might not be all that bad, right? He might be, just nonchalant a lot of the times, but I mean, I don't want to say uncaring, because he obviously does care. We saw it in his face this episode. But it was just really, really interesting. The whole reason they went there, though, was their first case, Obi and Takahisa's first case, was an infernal in white robes, and they said that they like rushed to like pick up his belongings. He had no next of kin, and all of this. There was like a red cross there, which I don't know if the red cross is supposed to be a symbol for their organization or not, or what it means yet. But they, the fact that it was like so weird and there was so many discrepancies in that case and so different that it's very possible that the white clad organization, these people in, so I wonder if it was like some kind of accident that he became an infernal. Like, did one of the insects go into him, like that person instead, or were they experimenting on their own people, kind of thing? I'm not sure, but it's very interesting. Also, we have Benimaru, who is doubting the fact that people are intentionally being turned into, which I'm kind of glad that they didn't have it be like something where he finds out that that's true in that instant immediately after they were talking about it. I feel like it would have been like a little too convenient, but I do feel like there's going to be something that proves it to him or changes his mind. I'm not 100% sure, but typically in anime, when a character is firmly doubting something that our main characters know is true, there's something that then comes along and convinces him that it's true, and then he starts, like, cooperating, kind of thing. So maybe in the next episode we'll see that, because, I mean, they didn't just leave, right? I don't think they're still there. I guess we didn't see them, though. He told them to bugger off, when he went out to do the festival. He said, when I get back, don't be here, pretty much. And when he got back, he was eating that sweet, and we didn't see them there. So I don't know if they're going to try again next episode, or if they just admit defeat for now, and maybe that'll be something we come back to later, like if Benimaru ever gets the proof he needs, and then he's like, okay, what'd you guys want to investigate, kind of thing, and is more cooperative. I'm not sure, but very interesting. So now that I'm starting to get Hinawa's name, we now have a Hinata. Although we probably won't see her too much, but she's that little girl that's part of, or with Benimaru. I don't know if they're part of the Fire Force or not, but it's funny how they were just like clinging to him and stuff. He's also a hybrid fire soldier, which is very interesting. The idea that he is both third generation and second generation. Obviously, I now know that the generations aren't strictly like generations in our terms. It's not just like, oh, 3 generations ago, like the first generation showed up, and then 2 generations ago the second generation, kind of thing. It's its own way of titling them, kind of thing, based off their powers, it seems like. So I guess, just for like lack of a better term, he's considered second and third generation. So he can manifest flames, and then he can also manipulate them. So is that to say that Shinra can't manipulate his flames then? That's like a weird distinction, isn't it? Like, when you think about it, because maybe Shinra can't. He just kind of emits flames from his feet, right? Maybe he can't control them once they're out, but Tamaki, I believe her name was, she creates like a tail and ears. She seems to manifest flames and control them. Does that mean she's hybrid too? Like, or is it just that the manifestation of her flames just happen to come out like tails and an ear, like cat ears, kind of thing? Like, is that not her choice? Is she not manipulating the flames to do that? That just happens to be what they are, kind of thing? I don't know. I feel like that's a weird distinction to make. I just assumed that third generation had the power to generate flames and control them. Maybe they have the power to control maybe, like, second generation can control, like, any flames, right? Whereas, third generation can only conjure their own flames and control their own flames, but other people's flames they don't. They can't manipulate. Maybe that's the difference. That's the only thing I can think of that would make a little more sense, but it still seems like a little bit unclear to me. But yeah, very good episode. Absolutely loved it. I've been really loving this show, honestly, a lot more than I thought I would. Like when I first came into this show, I was a little worried. I was a little worried it was gonna be like more shonen-y and like like I said one other episode, I thought the story was gonna move a lot slower, and the story is just moving so quickly. I'm absolutely loving it. It's a great show. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 episodes ahead of time. Right now, you can do so on there through the early access tier. There's also the Patreon exclusive tier where you can see all kinds of things like Mob Psycho Season 2. I'll be starting Season 3 on my Patreon very soon too, as soon as it starts coming out and everything. There's also live action shows like Lucifer, which I just finished. And I will be starting Better Call Saul on there as well. So if you're interested in that, there's a Patreon exclusive tier. Link should be popping up on the screen to that stuff, or it's in the description. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.